don't know what it's like to be broke, motherfucker. I was homeless living in my car. I was stealing my roommate's food in order to survive. I sold books door to door for 11 fucking years. Good morning, brothers. JK, your brother in the struggle here. Today I'm going to be talking about managing your money and the mindsets you need to have around money when you don't have any money, right? This is in response to a question from a brother in our group, and he asked, I won't say his name for privacy reasons, obviously, but I will tag him in the group. But he asked, doesn't have a job right now, unemployed, maxed out credit cards, and he wants to know, waiting for job offers. He's looking for side hustles. He wants to know the right mindset around money. Did people meet financially successful people in order to figure this out? How do you verify online side hustles and so on and so forth? But the first thing I'm going to do is address the biggest issue, which is his unemployment and his maxing out his credit cards and how he got there. I'm going to be very blunt. I don't give excuses for anyone because it is doubtful that there's any situation that a brother has been in that I haven't been in before. Guys show up with, oh my God, I was falsely accused of rape, been there. Guys show up and like, oh my God, I've been homeless, been there. Guys that shown up have been like, yeah, I had to lie and cheat and do all of these things in order to make a buck in the early days. I've done that in my early 20s and in my teens in order to just survive financially. It doesn't matter what you're going through. I've been there. I'm absolutely transparent, and I will show you. It's part of what I do as a reboot coach. It is literally part of my job description, let's call it, to help you build up these areas of your reboot capital. Because if you don't fix these areas of your life, you're going to end up relapsing to porn, most likely. So remember, the ultimate goal of rebooting is to enhance your happiness as a man. So this brother has maxed out his credit cards and he is unemployed. The fact that he is bottomed out means that there are some mindsets and some habits that he didn't have, right? And it means that when he was employed, before he was unemployed, he had issues with managing his money. So brother, there are two things that you need to focus on. Number one is managing your money well, and number two is having the right mindsets about money. But none of that is going to happen unless you set a clear financial goal. By a clear financial goal is you have to decide where you want to be financially. If you don't, you will always stay in survival mode. There is no possibility of you exiting survival mode to go into what we call stability. Stability is when you have money, you have some savings, right? You're not really able to afford vacations. If you do afford vacations, you're probably playing yourself and justifying it. Stability means you're just not worrying about a roof over your head. You're not worrying about money in the bank. You're not worrying about feeding yourself. You're good. But stability is where the real work comes in, and that's where you stop working so that you can have a little bit of a surplus. That way you can start affording things and you're stepping out of need and stepping more into wants. So you're stepping into a zone of, yeah, I can start buying nicer things and I can start doing things for other people. I'm no longer like, hey man, sorry bro, I can't help you out, man. I'm just trying to survive myself, right? So in order to even move to any of the steps, the big trap that holds guys back in survival mode is just feeling that they're so stuck in that they can't afford, or it is ludicrous to sit down and plan out their future. But what that does is that sitting down and planning, where do I want to be financially? How much do I need to make a month in order to have all the things I want and the space, time, and clarity to do the things that really matter in my life? Because life is not about making money. Life can be about work if that work is fulfilling, right? If it is a purpose, if it is a mission. But if it isn't, life is not about grinding for $1. So again, we only grind for the dollar, so to speak, so that we can actually do the things that matter to us. You have to sit down and write that down, right? What am I working for? And if that thing I'm working for, is it something that's going to bring me freedom and happiness? Trust me on this. you will get there's a level of calmness that will be induced in your life the moment you can do this. The next step is to realize that in order for you to get the base down, you have to decide what's the base and what am I willing to sacrifice. So you are in a rough spot financially, you're unemployed, you're broke. Listen, when I was broke, I sold books door to door. All right? That sucks. Do you know something that I learned about people? When I started recruiting, I remember, I'll never forget this. There was a girl, maybe one day I will forget it. I recruited from New Mexico. I won't say her name. I mean, she was in a tough spot financially. When I recruited, I helped people with everything. I would forward people that I truly believed could do well in selling door to door. I would forward them the money to get started, because we would take them to different states where it was more acceptable and where the soliciting laws were lenient towards door-to-door salespeople. And I bought this chick a car. I forwarded her the money. I did everything that I could. I trained her for months to get her ready. And, at the end of the day, she went out there. She needed the money. She really needed the money. She saw there were people selling and making money, but she just refused to work. She absolutely refused to work because it was too hard for her to take the rejections, and her ego couldn't handle poor people telling her to get off their porch. She's like, who the fuck are these people to tell me to get off my porch, to get off their porch? Like, she's like, they're broke. I'm trying to help them with their lives. And they're like, no. The ego couldn't handle that. She eventually borrowed a couple of $100s from me and just ran away. She never responded. I never heard from her again. She left. She never paid for her vehicle. She took it, the vehicle. I bought her everything and left. I have many stories like this from back in those days, but all it taught me is that some people are too proud to do certain types of work. If you're unemployed and you're broke, there is no shame in hard work. People sometimes bitch at me and they say, oh, you charge so much for your programs. You this and you this. Yes. Our programs are probably the most expensive on the internet when it comes to ending your out of control sexual behavior. But our program is not probably, it is hands down, no arguments, the best program on the planet for ending your behavior with pornography and masturbation. And it's not even a marketing gimmick. It's a literal fact, like data upon data upon data. It's going to be fucking expensive because we have psychotherapists and trauma-informed coaches, and you get coaching every single day with real live human beings. We're not just dumping you in a group and giving you a course and telling you, good luck, motherfucker, figure it out, like some of these other assholes out here are doing. We're not doing that. So people go like, oh my God, it's so expensive, you're out of touch, you don't know what it's like to be broke. Motherfucker, I was homeless living in my car. I was stealing my roommate's food in order to survive. I sold books door to door for 11 fucking years. There was no base salary. If I knocked on your door and I kept knocking morning till night, 7:30 in the morning till 9:30 at night, I would set appointments like, hey, what time do you get off your shift? And if I did not sell, I did not eat that day. Sometimes it was one meal a day. A lot of times I just didn't eat for the week. It was whatever our customers would give me, right? Would you like a plate to go, young man? And I'd take a plate. And that was my meal for the day. I did this shit for 11 years, guys. My point, the point I'm trying to make is that there's really no excuse that you can give for this, right? You must be willing to be humble and do what is necessary to get to a baseline. But don't make the survival mistake of thinking that you have to be at that sort of work forever. Whether it is construction, whether it is sales, it doesn't matter what it is. Look at your current expenses and immediately eliminate everything you do not need and bring it down to the lowest common denominator, right? When I was doing this, I lived in an empty apartment, empty studio apartment when I started. No furniture. If you guys want to see pictures, let me know. Say pictures in the comment section below, and I will drop pictures for you in the community area of YouTube, right? I'll respond to you when the pictures are up there. I will show you my room over the years, different rooms, right? Sleeping bag up till 2016. Yeah? I was 31 years old. Sleeping bag on the floor. Even when I was doing this, even when I was doing very well on the side, doing porn reboots. I still slept on sleeping bag, right? Guys, are you willing to do that? I was 31 years old. Can you do that? Some of you guys are in your 20s and you're just like, oh my God, I need a mattress. Motherfucker, do you need a mattress? For me, a used mattress was $40. $40 was more than a week's worth of groceries for me. Well, at least back then, right? I don't know what it's like now with inflation. Are you willing to do what it takes, right? And most of you watching this, y'all are fucking men. The truth is you don't need much. You really don't need much. A roof over your head, a way to get to work, and a goal. And good health, of course. I think you should still hit the gym, right? I've worked with people who literally, they survived. They had a car and they had Planet Fitness. They survived for months. I am not shitting you. I know of somebody who lived in their car. They would work 2 jobs, day shift, and they work an evening shift. They would eat at the restaurant. They would drive their car up to Planet Fitness, tinted, sleep. Wake up, wear workout clothes, go in there, work, jog a little bit, go into the bathroom, shower, get ready, get dressed, go to their next job. That was how they did things for months to save money. There are people doing this. Now, I'm not encouraging you to be homeless, and I'm assuming many of you are in a better situation than that. But I just want you to know that I've seen all kinds of ways that people have survived in this world, and they have made it. And the point I'm trying to make is that chances are you have not maximized every opportunity and resource that you have. So be willing to do the work. Set the goal for the amount that you need to hit so that you're no longer in that situation, and work towards it. Save that amount. Then if you need to move to a nicer place, a more comfortable place, then move to that place. That is what I have done over and over and over again. This goes from unemployment to selling books to saving money, moving out of a studio to a 1-bedroom, moving out of a 1-bedroom to a 2-bedroom. From the 2-bedroom, I bought my first property. From there, but the next. I didn't buy a house. I bought property. That's what I did. That's how I was playing it before I moved into my own place, right? We talk about all of this in the Financial Reboot program. It doesn't matter. In fact, the guys that I love to work with the most when it comes to their finances are those who've actually been rock bottom in their finances before, because I've been there and I understand. It's those guys with that hunger that understand how to save here and there, right? So once you get to a base, you can move to a nicer place. But once you move from survival to stability, your entire mindset about money has to change, because a lot of guys in the stability stage get stuck on frugality. Frugality is not going to help you accomplish your dreams. Frugality at best is going to lead to a very average life. And frugality is not equal for everybody. I'll say it again. Frugality is not equal for everyone. The guy making $40,000 a year being frugal, his life is going to be very different from the guy who's making $75,000 a year. Similarly, the guy making $75,000 a year living in New York City, his life is going to be very different being frugal than the guy who lives in Wichita, Kansas, making $40,000 a year. Guy in Wichita, Kansas is going to be living the good life. The guy in New York is going to be living like a rat. Okay? This is the reality. So also where you're located is important. What does that mean? It means that sometimes you may have to change locations so you can move to a more affordable place. People be living in Portland, New York, California, like a rat with roommates. And then you're saying, oh my God, I'm broke and unemployed. Get the fuck out of there, right? Be willing to do that, especially if you're younger. There's nothing wrong with it. Guys, there are jobs out there, right? There are traveling jobs. There are illegal, undocumented, I will say, migrants moving into this country. I've met them who are making up to $100,000 a year. I'll say that again. There are undocumented migrants in these United States who just came in here and are making 6 figures because they have no problem living all together in one place, sharing rooms, sharing what they need to do, and they go to work every single goddamn motherfucking day, Monday to Sunday. Monday to Sunday, right? This is not a video on truly like managing your money, because there are lots of people that teach people. I'll tell you a story. The person who when I started investing, started opening companies, the person, I won't say the name again, who started teaching me how to manage money was so good at managing money. Oh, they knew everything about it. Everything about it. And they'd been in business for like maybe 15, 16 years, right? Well known in that area, in the place I was living. In 2 years, my revenue surpassed everything that they had done in 15 years. 2 years. 2 years. And I still didn't know how to balance a checkbook. Right? What does that mean? That means that your ability to earn and understand how money works and get some basic principles under your belt is way more important to reaching the stability stage and heading to wealth than it is to understand how to balance a checkbook. The billionaire Richard Branson doesn't know how to balance a checkbook. I don't even know if he knows how to read an Excel sheet. A lot of these people that you look up to that are billionaires and multimillionaires, they don't know math. Some of them do, a lot of them don't. I've told you guys many times, I have dyscalculia, right? I don't do math. I can't read calendars, analog clocks. Like I can't do it. People start talking numbers to me in the company. I'm like, yo, what are you doing? You know I don't understand what you do. Share your fucking screen. Share your screen and show me the numbers and explain it to me like I'm in kindergarten. Use shapes and geometry if necessary to explain this shit to me, because I don't know what the fuck you're talking about, right? So your mindset around this is critical. I'm going to give you a book recommendation, and it's called How to Manage Your Money When You Don't Have Any. All right. It's been many years since I read that book, but I bought it because, you know, it was a good primer. Unfortunately, I didn't understand most of what was in there, but I do remember there were some good principles in there. The brothers I've recommended the book to, How to Manage Your Money When You Don't Have Any, they've said that they found it quite helpful. So that's a book for you guys to check out. So let's recap this. I've been all over the place here. I'm I sliced my finger yesterday while rock climbing. So this is just fucking with me. Number one, decide where you want to be in the long run. It is an absolutely healthy thing to do. It is a scary thing, but it's a thing that's going to get you up and put you out there. The more reasons you have, the better. One of the reasons that a lot of people don't succeed financially is simply because they do not have enough reasons to do so. That's the first thing. The second thing is, once you've committed to moving from survival mode, which is unemployment, credit cards maxed out, not knowing what to do in terms of work, once you've decided to move from that to stability, you have to humble yourself and be willing to do whatever it takes. But don't be willing to do whatever it takes forever. Have a baseline that you're going to reach, because that's going to be very uncomfortable, right? And you're going to be, when you're in survival stage, in an environment that's not the most healthy emotionally for you. There are going to be a lot of people around you who don't have the right mindset. You have to fucking stay focused so you can get the fuck out of there, right? Again, it's not about looking down on anybody. It's just knowing that, hey, I'm in survival. This is part of being human, right? You got to be ready to be in survival at any mode. The same thing goes for me. But I understand one thing. If I lose the Porsche, the homes, the real estate, the businesses, everything, if I lose everything, I am so thankful that I started from the bottom, below the bottom, literally, because I know I have the internal resources to climb my way up back again, and I'll fucking enjoy doing it. All right? It'll suck, but you know, when you've been down there and you have a big goal and you do what I tell you, there's a certain kind of enjoyment that comes from overcoming things. There's just this excitement of just like being the underdog. Some of you may understand, some of you may not. I'm a big underdog supporter. I just love to see guys win and make it up from climb their way up from nothing. But be humble. Keep your eye on the baseline. Now, once you get to the baseline, all right, this is just going to take a lot of hard work. Once you get to the baseline, then you have to stop thinking in terms of frugality, because frugality is not going to get you anywhere. This is the point at which you really focus on building up your marketable skills. You need to focus on skill sets that are going to help you make more money, not save more money. All all right? You have to out-earn your spending. You have to bring your spending down, and then you have to jack your earnings up over and over and over and over again. You really have to do this, because one of the goals, at least that we teach within the Financial Reboot program, is to get to a point where your current income is replaced. So let's say you're making $7,000 a month, or $5,000 a month, or $2,000. I don't give a shit what you're making, right? Whatever the amount is, you want to get to a point where your investments are passively replacing that. So if you are surviving and living off $5,600 a month, then you want to get to a place where every month you have $5,600 a month coming in without you doing anything from your investments. What does this do? Well, this allows you to do fucking everything. It doesn't mean you're going to stop working. Don't be a dumbass. It doesn't mean you're going to stop working. You probably work even harder. But now you can afford to work on the things that matter, right? There's a reason I can sit in my Porsche and run my mouth to you guys for 20 minutes. You're like, don't you have something to do? I have coaching to do and shit to do, but I actually enjoy doing this. I don't give a fuck about the YouTube format or the fucking algorithm, or I'll just run my fucking mouth. Why? Because I don't need a dime from you guys, right? I'm just here doing my thing, sharing it. If there's value you can get from it, you get from it. But the point is that you're going to be able to speak with freedom, because you don't need anything from anybody, right? A lot of people cannot speak with freedom and do the things that they want to do because they're worried that they're going to get canceled. They're worried that, oh, I got to run to work. I got to do this. I got to do that. I still got to go to work, but I have the freedom to pursue the things I want in my own way. Is this making sense, brothers? I know I'm all over the place sometimes, but I hope this is making sense, right? So push the frugality aside and focus on making money. Marketable skills are things like learning how to market, learning how to copyright, learning how to be an AI prompter. They're paying prompt engineers 6 figures right now, jumping on the AI bandwagon. Something's going on there. Get into that. Learning how to sell, learning how to be a closer. People look for people who can close sales for them on the phone and in the DM. No shame in that. It's a great skill to pick up. Some of you guys are like, oh, I want to become a coach. You cannot become a coach unless you have something fucking worthy of selling, right? Something worthy of teaching. When you can teach that shit, then you can sell that shit. And if you do not have anything worthy that can come out of your mouth that makes sense, that helps people, you are going to come off as a scammer. So you better have something worthy that you can do. Now, a lot of you guys just say, oh, I don't know, I really want it. Don't do it. Focus on that struggle, what you're going to go through in your survival mode to become a high performer. All of those things are going to add to your experience. I have years and years and years of experience to teach brothers from. So I can sit here and talk about it, and I know exactly what I'm talking about. I know how a brother can get out from being on the streets to getting a place to stay. I have access to resources, right? I know how a brother can go from being in you're like, dude, you live here? Are you safe here? How he can get out of there and go to the next thing, to the next thing, to the next thing. I know how a brother can go all the way to the point that he only flies first class and drives exotic cars, if that is something that you want to have. It doesn't matter, guys, but you have to go through the process yourself. And trust me, it doesn't take like years and years and years. The beautiful thing about living in the time we do is that there's never been an easier time in history to make money. God, the internet is so amazing. The internet, Google, you can just go on Google and you can Google anything. You can learn any skill sets. God damn, you can learn anything. Anything. It's amazing. The truth is, you get to a point and you realize, man, there's no reason for me to be broke. I can learn anything. You just don't have those resources around you. All right, enough said. I got to start my day. I hope somebody finds this helpful. I'm going to be hopping into my coaching session for those of you in the implementation program who shouldn't be on YouTube, but who are watching this shit. This will be talked about in the group where I answer that brother's question. I'm JK, your brother in the struggle. If you have any questions about this, let me know in the comment section below. I'll talk to you guys later.